What if I told you that the perfect, trouble-free child you are so proud of might be silently enduring unimaginable internal suffering? Imagine this highly familiar scene. You are at a busy playground. Another kid runs over and abruptly snatches your child's favorite toy. Instead of crying, defending themselves, or taking the toy back, your child looks up at your face. They see you chatting with the other parent, so they quietly step back, look down, and whisper, "It's okay. I don't want to play with it anyway." The surrounding adults immediately praise your child. Wow, they are so mature. What a well-behaved kid. You smile, feeling incredibly proud of your parenting. But what if I told you today that this good behavior isn't maturity at all? It is driven by a deep, hidden fear, the fear of losing your love, your approval, and causing a scene. In the next 20 minutes, we are going to brutally dissect 4 highly deceptive signs of people-pleasing in children. If you have ever thought your child is simply too good, you absolutely must watch this video to the very end. Because one small change in how you respond today could save them from a lifetime of toxic and draining relationships. Let's dive right into sign number 1, the too easy compromise. A healthy, secure child naturally has strong desires. They want what they want, and they will instinctively fight for it. But a people-pleasing child operates entirely differently. When faced with conflict, whether their toy is snatched, someone cuts in front of them in line, or their sibling takes their dessert, their default automatic reaction is always to yield. They instantly drop their own boundaries and say things like, "It's fine, you can have it," or "I didn't really care anyway." Many parents misinterpret this as their child having a generous and easygoing personality, but from a psychological perspective, this is a highly dangerous defense mechanism called need suppression. Their developing brain has wired a toxic equation. My needs equal causing trouble. Causing trouble equals people won't like me. Therefore, to be loved, I must erase my own needs. This is not generosity. This is the complete and utter collapse of their personal psychological boundaries. They are essentially practicing, from a very young age, how to become a doormat for others. If your child constantly gives up what they love just to keep the peace and make others happy, pay close attention, because this is the very first glaring red flag. Let's move on to sign number 2, the human radar for parents' moods. Picture this scenario. You come home after a long, incredibly stressful day at work. You drop your keys on the counter and let out a heavy sigh. Maybe your brow is just slightly furrowed. What does your child do? A secure, carefree child might just keep playing with their blocks, completely oblivious to your bad day. But a people-pleasing child? Their internal alarm bells go off instantly. They immediately stop what they are doing. They start walking on eggshells. They might become unnaturally quiet, quickly clean up their toys without being asked, or run over to bring you a glass of water, constantly and nervously scanning your facial expressions. Many parents see this and think, "Wow, my child is so incredibly empathetic and sweet." But in psychology, this is known as a trauma response called hyper-vigilance. This child has unconsciously and mistakenly taken on a massive, inappropriate burden. The responsibility of maintaining the emotional stability of the adults around them. Think about how tragic this is. A child's developing brain is biologically designed to use its precious cognitive power to explore the world, make mistakes, be curious, and build their own identity. Instead, this child is forced to waste massive amounts of mental processing power, constantly acting as a radar, scanning the emotional weather of the room. Deep down, they believe a toxic lie. If mommy or daddy is unhappy, it must be my fault. Or it is my job to fix it, so I can feel safe again. Living in this constant state of high alert is an absolutely exhausting way for a child to exist, and it completely robs them of a carefree childhood. Let's move on to the third red flag, and this one is absolutely heartbreaking to watch. Sign number 3, apologizing for everything. Have you ever noticed your child reflexively saying, "I'm sorry," for things that are completely out of their control? Imagine another kid clumsily bumps into them at the park, and your child is the one rushing to apologize. Or maybe a highly anticipated weekend picnic gets canceled simply because of heavy rain, yet they look at you with guilty eyes and whisper, "Sorry, mommy." Why do they do this? In psychology, this is a tragic coping mechanism known as pre-emptive guilt. A people-pleasing child lives in a constant state of fear regarding conflict and other people's displeasure. To survive this intense anxiety, their brain adopts a desperate strategy. If I just take all the blame right now, before anyone else can get mad, I can instantly diffuse the situation and make everyone happy again. They become a human sponge, absorbing everyone else's negative emotions and projecting them onto themselves. You must pay attention to this, because habitual apologizing is incredibly dangerous. It systematically strips away a child's self-worth piece by piece. If they grow up fundamentally believing that everything going wrong is always their fault, they are being perfectly trained for a disastrous future. They will become highly vulnerable targets for toxic friends, manipulative bosses, and narcissistic partners. By praising this behavior as politeness, we might accidentally be building them into a literal magnet for toxic relationships. Let's look at the final warning sign, and this one often flies completely under the radar. Sign number 4, the agony of making choices. On the surface, it just looks like your child is a little indecisive. You take them to get ice cream, and they stare at the menu forever. When you finally ask, "Do you want chocolate or strawberry?" they don't answer right away. Instead, they look up at you nervously, trying to read your face, and ask, "I don't know, Mom. Which one do you think I should get?" Or maybe they do the exact same thing when picking out a shirt for the day, or choosing a movie to watch. Many parents brush this off, thinking their child is just easygoing, or maybe lacking a little confidence. But for a people-pleasing child, the psychology behind this hesitation is a deep-seated terror of making the wrong choice and disappointing someone. In their mind, a choice is almost never about, "What do I actually want?" or "What do I like?" It is always a high-stakes test to figure out, what is the correct answer that will make mom or dad the happiest? If you allow this to continue, this chronic suppression has a devastating long-term effect. They are literally muting their own internal voice. If we don't step in and fix this, they will grow into adults with absolutely no sense of personal agency. They will become adults who don't know who they are, don't know what they genuinely want, and don't know how to advocate for themselves, forever living their entire lives merely fulfilling the expectations of everyone else. If you are watching this and recognizing these signs in your child, please take a deep breath. Do not panic and do not blame yourself. A child's brain has incredible plasticity, and it is never too late to turn this around. Welcome to Part 5, the action plan to rebuild their psychological boundaries. Here are 3 steps you can start using in your home today. Step 1. Decouple love from behavior. People-pleasing children fundamentally believe that your love is conditional, that they must earn it by being good. We have to shatter this toxic equation. Start explicitly telling your child, "I might correct your behavior when you make a mistake, but my love for you is absolute and unconditional. You do not ever have to be good for me to love you." Say it often, especially after a conflict, so their brain can finally relax and stop performing. Step 2. Encourage and validate negative emotions. When your child actually expresses anger, frustration, or refuses to do something, do not immediately shut them down or call them disobedient. This is actually a massive victory. When they say no, look them in the eye and use this magic phrase. "I can see that you are really angry right now, and you know what? That is completely okay. You are allowed to be mad." Give them the absolute right to feel negative emotions without the fear of being punished or abandoned. Step 3. Hand the power of choice back. We need to cure their agony of choice by rebuilding their self-efficacy. Start with tiny, low-stakes decisions in their daily life.
Mommy,
what do you want to wear today?
the red one?
If they ask what you think, gently push it back. This is your body and your choice. I want to know what you
Never
like.
forget the
And here's the
strength and
crucial
kindness
part.
you carry
Whatever they
right here in your
choose,
heart.
even if it's a completely mismatched, ridiculous outfit, you must fully support it. Let them experience the empowering feeling that their internal voice actually matters, and that the world will not end if they don't pick the perfect answer. Raising a child who dares to say no might make your parenting journey much harder today. But remember, our ultimate goal isn't to raise a compliant pet for our own convenience. Our goal is to raise a mentally strong adult who has the power to protect themselves in the real world. Does your child show any of these 4 signs? Let me know in the comments below. If this video woke you up today, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you in the next one.